Welcome back for another video. In this video we're going to look at the best players to buy in FPL for Game Week 3 to guide your transfer plans and also captaincy this week. Projection data from FPL Review. So let's get straight into it and we'll start off with the keepers. Lots of wildcards active this week, so if yours is active this will be particularly useful, and I know a lot of you are fed up with your keepers after 2 game weeks. Arsenal and Liverpool are the 2 teams that have managed 2 clean sheets in 2 so far, and Raya tops the table this week with 4 projected points, home to Brighton. They've started the season unsurprisingly solid defensively, 1.75 expected goals conceded from 2 games. Liverpool have fared best of just 0.81 XGC after 2 games. And bottom of the table here is Ipswich with 6 expected goals conceded. Also not surprising having played away at City. But second from bottom's Newcastle, who are a bit fortunate to keep a clean sheet Game Week 1. Everton have also been unimpressive and they're third from bottom after 2 games. And even worse, 7 goals conceded from 3.86 expected goals conceded. The data table here from Scout, link below to become a member, where all my tables are public. Raya is slightly top of all the keeper projections for the next 5 game weeks, and he's 5 points clear of Alisson as it stands as the top scoring keeper. After Brighton, they're away at Spurs and City, which isn't ideal, but he is a sound long-term purchase, and you really don't want to be chopping and changing your keeper if you can help it. There are some fixture swings to take advantage of. We've got Villa this week, Arsenal from Game Week 6, Man City Game Week 7. If you want an easy way to identify a good block of fixtures, on FPL page there is a fixture ticker tool, and you can sort by game week ranges like the next 3, 5, 8 etc. And also this week we've just added custom ranges so you can select whatever range you want. It's fplfocal in the App Store as well if you want to download it on your phone. Henderson's been a massive disappointment, no clean sheet so far, and he's away to Chelsea this week so he drops off the table as well. Transfers I feel very precious at the moment, with a lot of curveballs early on this season, like Kwanzaa, Barco and Kunku and Solanke etc. So my plan with Henderson is just to ride it out and leave Henderson for now. If I wasn't a wildcard this week, I'd have one of Raya or Martinez in goal. Villa's next 4 are Leicester away, Everton and Wolves home and then Ipswich away, about as good as fixture runs come. Though that also means there are Villa defenders to consider for your team this week, which might make more sense. So on that note, let's have a look at the defenders. Gabriel, Saliba and White, the top 3 this week for the Brighton fixture. And we saw Timber starting left back last match, with Zinchenko missing out, who started Game Week 1. There was Calafiori that came on for him second half. Zinchenko didn't look happy at all, understandably. I'd go for Gabriel right now if I was picking any Arsenal defender, but if you do have the 0.5 mil spare, no way to use it, then White's going to haul at some point when many of us are overlooking him, as has been the case the past 2 seasons. Gabriel's got more goal threat than Saliba generally, hence why he'd be my favourite pick of the centre backs. Trent and Robertson have been sharing corner duties, though slightly differently under slot. They've been taking them from both sides and switching it up, in swingers and out swingers. And Robertson has been going under the radar for 6 mil. 11 corners taken, 17 crosses, both stats of which are higher than any defender, and he's 4th for expected goal involvement among defenders. And he did have a big chance saved last match against Brentford. Liverpool still got the fixtures to look at defender. They've got Man United, Forest, Bournemouth, Wolves, Palace and then Chelsea. Trent's been getting subbed early the first 2 matches, which is good in the sense of Bradley helps lock his clean sheet in, but it's less time to get a possible return. Trent did look fuming after coming off in the Brentford match. It's a difficult one for Slot because Bradley's far too good not to be used, but at least when the cups begin he can use Bradley lots there. Conson makes the table with 3.5 projected points and he's my favourite of the 4.5 mil defenders now. You can set and forget him in your team for the next 4 or 5 game weeks. And we mentioned in the transfer plans video yesterday and the lessons learned from last game week that Cash came off injured and 4 mil under Delkovic came on, and if Cash is out for a while he could be an absolute gem for 4 mil, and if you've got nothing in your bank then he's a possible Kwanzaa replacement or even Barco. Cucurella makes the table, but I'd avoid the Chelsea defence despite the fixtures. They've conceded twice in their first 2 games, and it could be a similar story to last season where there's lots of crazy scorelines, and Chelsea having to score 3 or 4 goals to get a win. Bad for the Chelsea defence, but great for Palmer. If I was wildcarding this week, my defence would probably be Trent, Gabriel, Konsa, Dunk, and a 4 mil defender. Moving on to the midfielders, and it's very close at the top as Saka leads with 6.7 projected points, and then Palmer with 6.6. It was a chaotic 6-2 win over Wolves with Palmer involved in 4 goals, and it really goes to show just how well they've priced players this season. It is annoying, but it's impossible to have all of Saka, Palmer, Salah and Haaland, and we're forced to make some really difficult decisions this season. Saka's top of the table here and he's home to Brighton, so you absolutely keep him, and you don't sell Salah or Haaland either to get to Palmer. So if you don't own Palmer, the funds need to come from somewhere else. Son's the only one you could make the case for selling this week for Palmer, but again that could be asking for trouble after his brace, and as we saw, Newcastle doing really bad defensively so far. Chelsea have got really good fixtures though, and it makes it a real headache. I think the best players, you've got to stick with your Saka, Salah and Haalands this week and trust they come good. You can't own them all in FPL. After Game Week 3, Arsenal have got Spurs and Man City away, which is when you could make the case for swapping a premium out. I'm considering the Saka to Salah or maybe Palmer move in Game Week 4, but definitely not this week personally. Mbeumo's 4th on the midfielders table this week, no Tony in the Brentford squad again last match, amidst transfer interest from other clubs. He's on pens, free kicks and home to Southampton this week. He's a very good Nkunku replacement if you've got the money for him. After Southampton, he does have Man City away and Spurs away though. City away in particular a terrible fixture, Spurs not necessarily. Game Week 6 is going to be the ideal time to buy him when they hit a green fixture run, but he is a sound transfer in this week. As far as other Nkunku replacements, Rodgers is emerging as one of the most popular ones as he's only 5 mil and he's passing the eye test despite 2 blanks. Very unlucky not to come away with a return against Arsenal. And Bailey's the other one, also from Villa. He's 6.5 mil though, so if you've got nothing in your bank, you're priced out of that one after Nkunku's price dropped to 6.4 mil. It's hard to make the case for Bailey when 1.5 mil separates the two, though he is more proven in the sense that he got 10 goals, 11 assists last season, while Rodgers was a January signing, but he has looked brilliant so far. Smith Rowe is also worth considering for 5.6 mil after a well-taken goal against Leicester for a 10-pointer, and he's got Ipswich next, so my favourites would be Rodgers and Smith Rowe. It might sound crazy after 2 blanks, but if you've got the money, Eze is still a good Nkunku replacement. He might even see a price drop, so you'd only need 0.5 mil to get there. 1.1 expected goal involvement over the opening 2 game weeks. Very unlucky not to come away with anything. And those numbers also won't include his free kick wrongly disallowed. Palace's next 4 are Chelsea, Leicester, Man United and Everton, and it's not like any of those teams are top defences. Foden missed the last game unexpectedly with illness, and if you've got him, just keep hold for now and wait and see what Pep says in his press conference. So looking at the next 5 game week projections, Salah's slightly ahead of Palmer and Saka. Though going back to the earlier point, you can't have all 3 plus Haaland, so back yourself whoever you go with. The data suggests they're all excellent picks and you can't control what happens on the pitch, so it's not worth getting frustrated by what's out of your control. Pray to the FPL gods that they're on your side and hope for the best. On to the forwards. And largely the forwards have been a disappointment from the opening 2 game weeks bar Haaland. Havertz of course did very well game week 1, he did have a quiet game against Villa. Definitely keep hold of Havertz though. So Haaland's on 7.4 points projected against West Ham, Saka was on 6.7, Palmer 6.6 and Salah 6.1. So if you went for Salah, one of Saka or Palmer, then it's a big decision to make with captaincy this week, with the data favouring the Arsenal-Chelsea mid slightly. Don't let the extra premium price tag on Salah distract you from alternative picks. I'd be inclined to captain Saka playing home to Brighton. Price tag doesn't mean anything in terms of a captain's viability. Really, price tag is just FPL's opinion of the player's value before the season had kicked off. I think it's a trap many fell into last season, not captaining Palmer when there were opportunities, just because he was like 5 mil, and it does sound crazy to captain someone so cheap. Isak's been a frustration as well for many of us, the most owned player in the game, with just the assist from the first 2 game weeks. Newcastle tend to perform much better in home games, and this week they're home to Spurs, so keep hold of him. Another disappointment has been Watkins, but again he's got to be a hold with the fixtures coming up. And if you have him, you're very unlucky not to get anything from the Arsenal game with 2 big chances missed. What is a little concerning is his early substitutions for Duran, though that could be partly because of his poor performances. João Pedro and Welbeck have been the 2 stand-up budget forwards so far, though Game Week 4 is the time to buy when they've got Ipswich and Forest home in back-to-back fixtures. Or if Solanke's out for Game Week 3 and you don't need to start his replacement, then you could consider moving this week and have them first on your bench. João Pedro is my favourite between the 2. We're just about to pass 199,000 subscribers this morning, onto the final stretch now for 200k. If this video was helpful, hit subscribe to support the channel and help us get there. More FPL content to come this week as well. Thanks for watching, see you soon for the next one.